All right, so here's another drill for knowing how to pull correctly. Let's just take Doug, put him up against my wall here. As you can see, I've pretty much put people here. So I'm going to spin him around, get him about 3 inches off that wall. There you go, perfect. Just about 3 inches, okay? And if he pulls correctly, the way that I want him to, he will not touch that wall. So let's see if he can pull it off. Boom, boom. Good. That foot even could be back a little further. Okay. So just a tad back. Even further. There you go. Beautiful. Now use the other one. So we go about 10, 20 pulls each side just to kind of ingrain that pattern of, hey, what should I be doing here? This is it. Love how Dougie is at 90 degrees with his arms right now. Very serious. He's a serious man. Beautiful, dude. All right, so from here, we're gonna spin him around. He's gonna be, if he extends his arms out in front of him, pulls his shoulder blades back together, good, nice and tight, hollow position, crank that down, good. Back up, back up. There we go, about a foot away from the wall. Okay, if he stabilizes correctly and falls into the wall, boom! He's like a tree falling in the woods. Nobody was there. Could you hear it? Okay, so watch the overextension. Boom. Beautiful. Feel that? Shoulder blades back, dude. Yeah. Hollow position. Yes. Squeeze your butt. Yeah. All right. Okay, soft knees now. Okay, so that pull position, what he just had, what we were doing on the wall, we now want him to achieve that by running in place against this wall in that leaning position. So I'm going to have him pull 20 times or 10 each side, but he's going to run in place. Go ahead. Both feet, both feet, both feet, same time. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and he's pretty good right here. Now, I'll stand here as a coach and say, hey, don't hit my hand. Why would I want to do that? Because that's vertical oscillation and that's going up. That means we got a little bit of bounce or push going off and we're trying to redirect that energy. But we've got the good pull going, so then I tell him, all right, go run it out, dude. Have him go run about 50 meters, 100 meters. Implementing that, yes, you're going to get a little tired by implementing this new technique and by using those hamstrings, but we're going to do it in short bursts, higher intensity, okay? Once again, we want to develop that central nervous system for what it is we're doing. We don't want to just go turn it off and start picking up these old habits of just running slow and not utilizing the correct muscles for everything, okay? So, he's gone out, he runs it out. These are 2 drills that we would utilize for that knee flexion and running in place. There's actually a whole bunch of stuff that we're doing there. We're learning how to stabilize correctly. We're learning how to not hop up and down and have a whole lot of vertical oscillation, because the more vertical oscillation we have, the more up and down we have, and we're giving away to forward motion, okay? Good runners versus, I don't want to necessarily say bad runners, but not so good runners. There's quite a few fundamental issues things that happen differently. One of those things, and I've kind of touched on it a little while ago, is vertical oscillation. So if we're going up and down, that means that there's a lot of push coming off or too much push coming off, or there's just a lot of rebound or ground reaction energy from that muscle elasticity that we're not redirecting with those hamstrings. So if I actually were to have Doug jump up and down, just like he's jumping rope, we've got some vertical oscillation. Now, if I ask him to tighten that up, okay, he can tighten that up and he's not bouncing up as much. He's probably getting, I don't know, maybe 6-7 centimeters of travel here. Now, if I have him alternate feet and do the same thing, just keep doing what you did, so just alternate the feet, boom. We've got a little bit less vertical oscillation. Now what I want him to do is redirect that even tighter and pull up higher. So, pull, 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 pull. And the less energy that I can get where I'm not bouncing up and down, the better. Because let's just say that Doug were traveling 4 inches, right? If he had 4 inches of travel in what he was doing when he was running, that means there's 4 inches up of energy, and then you're going to have to load down with energy, okay? And you can carry somewhere between 2 and 3 times your body weight depending on the speeds at which you're traveling. of absorbing that. And that's basically what people feel when they land, as opposed to what they're saying is a whole lot of pushing off going on. That's actually you absorbing, your body, your tissue absorbing that and stabilizing correctly. So what we want them to do is stabilize correctly, absorb the muscle elasticity, and return that energy without getting a whole lot of bounce, okay? So here's a key thing you can learn either prior to coming to a seminar that we do with CrossFit Endurance, or in learning this just directly. So I'm gonna show you some things with box jumps. So I'm just gonna have Doug box jump right here on the 12-incher. I know it's big. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's go 5 as fast as you can. Back up, back up. There you go. Utilizing muscle elasticity, you'll see his heels kiss the ground. This is no different in what he's doing. So now, what you'll notice is it doesn't require a whole lot of energy for him to get up top there. Are you all right with going on an 18?
Sure.
Okay, so can you do, when you're ready, let's just go 5 box jumps on the 18 as fast as you can. Up, faster. Faster. Good. So, there's not a whole lot more that he has to do to get to the 18 versus the 12. Now, what I want him to do with running is redirect what it was he was doing to get up there with his hamstrings so that he's not going up and down. And because we're pulling with those hamstrings, if I've got one foot in the air and I've just landed, right? So this knee's soft and I've just landed, my objective is to go from here to engaging my glutes and supporting myself and getting over that foot and falling, and then getting my other foot, which if I'm in slow motion here, and I'll just use, why don't I get you over here? So if I were in motion here and I'm engaged here, what I want to do is get over that foot by engaging my glute, getting my glute tight, extending that hip, okay? And then getting my foot off to fall forward with forward motion, okay? The support is going to occur between here. It's just like a box jump, but it's how you return that energy. Either am I going up, or am I going to use those hamstrings and allow myself to fall forward with it? So what we don't want is that up and down, okay? So this is one of the things that we like to do is to change this over is to have people box jump, get used to it, and then run in place for us with little bounce, no bounce. So we go boom, boom, boom. Kill that vertical oscillation. So now, with a partner, we'd run out, and I just stay here. Try not to hit my hand. There! And one of the primary things that's happening right now is that he's stabilizing more. He's actually setting up that posture, setting up that midline more. Did you feel yourself kind of get tighter as you went?
Yes.
Interesting. Stabilizing the midline, running, as opposed to being sloppy and slow and moving all over the place and just not caring. Okay? It's that slow place, that lazy place that we get to that's just going to actually slow us down, versus the tighter we get, okay, the faster we can actually go. Depending on how fast you want to go, it's probably anywhere from about 20% to 100% of stabilizing that spine correctly and just grabbing onto that midline stabilization. The faster you want to go, the tighter you got to get, okay? And the more you do it, the more you learn how to integrate that, the easier it gets. So that's what that vertical oscillation, how we can fix that stuff. So we would have Doug kind of work on that, and then to just tie back in to that midline stabilization. The best drill we can do for that is just kind of, how can we create more leverage in order to require him to have to do that without really crippling him. So one of the best things we do is we get those hands out in front, where he's going to lock those hands in place, bring the shoulders back, perfect. He's going to anchor that down correctly, and he's just going to run in place, right? Now, if I have him turn and run it out, I don't want those arms going side to side all over the place, and he's stable as a he's stable as hell right now. So that's a good thing. That means he's doing a lot of work to stabilize that, versus, watch this, if I have him do it again and he's not as stable and he's not as integrated, run in place, and I send him off, you'll notice what's happening with those arms. All over the place. He can't stabilize them down. Okay? This is one of the big problems that we see with the design between higher level runners versus lower level runners. Okay? And the ability to stabilize allows us to go faster. If we just don't stabilize more, we're going to break down, inevitably pick up more asymmetries. We're going to use smaller muscle groups to do what larger ones are supposed to. And it's just about stabilizing that midline, getting over, and getting those hamstrings, man. Nice job. You feel that?
Yeah.
Right on.